PowerBoat Television is brought to you by Yamaha. Conquer water with Yamaha. Cruisers Yachts. Luxury yachts and bow riders for all your adventures. And BoatBuys.com. 60,000 new and used boats for sale.
Welcome to the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. And boat shows happen all the time around the world. There's a couple dozen in Florida alone. But this one here, this is something special.
With 1,200 exhibitors from more than 30 countries, drawing more than 100,000 guests from 50 countries, this is simply massive.
The Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, it truly is an international show, and we have manufacturers, exhibitors from more than 30 countries here. And they all get together once a year in Fort Lauderdale for really what is like a Super Bowl of boat shows. It spans 7 locations, more than 3 million square feet of exhibit space, all connected by a convenient ground and water transportation system. The show features literally everything that the boating industry has to offer, from small boats all the way up to some of the most beautiful, amazing super yachts available on the market today, and everything in between. Any type of boat you're looking for, you're likely to find it at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show.
There's more than 5 miles of temporary dock that gets shipped in and constructed around the boats as they bring them in, just for the 5-day show.
It's the largest event of its kind in the industry every year, and a lot of the exhibitors leverage that to use the show for world debuts, debuts to the Americas, different types of premieres, different types of press events, social events. Exhibitors see this as a place to really show off what the latest and greatest is in design and technology in the boating world.
Like the Cruisers Yachts 42 Cantius.
Now this is being debuted here at Fort Lauderdale, and it's a beautiful boat. First of all, starting here on the large swim platform, the hydraulic platform is an option. And right here, you see these cutouts? These are self-deploying stairs when the platform goes down in the water. Now back here, we have 2 openings, huge deep storage. That comes standard. Right in the middle, we have a grill. That's standard. An option that you have, though, which I think is great, is you have a small fridge out here. Moving up to the cockpit, you have a ton of room here. The fair-skinned people of the world like me are gonna love the extendable sunshade. I also really like the option of an ice maker right here. It's big and open, lots of seating. This will be popular both when you're on the hook or at the dock, or underway, because who doesn't like sitting out, getting a little bit of wind in your hair? Even though it's an enclosed design, they have a fairly good walkway around with firm handles, which I like, because you always want to hang on when you're walking along. And because Cruisers makes everything in-house, you know they're sturdy, built right in.
If you go all the way to the bow, you'll find the bow lounge with 2 loungers and a pop-up table built right in. Thanks to the 13-foot 8-inch beam, those walkarounds leave lots of room for the main salon, which, with large open windows all around it, feels wide open. And if feeling open isn't enough for you, the standard power sunroof makes it actually open.
In the salon here, you have this walnut wood interior, which is a good mix of a light enough color that it keeps it open, but a rich look. You have this large stainless steel sink with the beautiful design of the faucet. You have microwave, which is standard, fridge and freezer, good size, standard, and a 2-burner cooktop stove.
Behind the helm is a small L-shaped bench around a table, which flows naturally outwards towards the cockpit. The helm has a bolstered captain's seat and dual Raymarine touchscreens, along with joystick docking thanks to the Volvo Penta IPS 500s. And those 5.5-liter power plants kick out 370 horsepower each and push this 42 around comfortably in the 20 to 30 knots range. Though you can bump it up from 740 horsepower to a max of 870.
And when you leave the big, open, airy, and bright salon and come down below, you'll find a couple really nice features. Right here in the midship stateroom, it's full beam. You don't see that on too many 42-footers, but you see it on the 42 Cantius. Another really nice feature on the 42 Cantius is that there are two separate but fully stocked and large heads. And when I say fully stocked, I mean they have separate showers and good size. You have storage, and you have lovely amenities like this stylish sink here. The overall length of the 42 Cantius is only 43 feet 2 inches, so they've packed a lot into a compact size. Moving up into the bow, we have another beautiful, open and airy stateroom. Now you have windows on either side and the skylight up above, so natural light flooding in here as well. And because the bed is nice and raised up, it gives room for these 4 large drawers underneath. Storage always being a premium on any boat, especially on a cruiser. Those of us that love to use it as a weekender or a floating cottage or condo. On either side of the bed, you have good size hanging lockers, and there's a private ensuite head. Everyone has their own space, has their own shower, has their own bathroom, but you have the camaraderie of the open salon and the cockpit up out the back. So it really is the best of both worlds. 42 Cantius is brand new here at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. The demand has been high. Trying to find a time for us to get on has been very difficult. So I imagine you're gonna see a lot of these out on the water. So that does it for us here in sunny Florida. Time to say goodbye to the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show in this beautiful in-water setup. We're gonna head closer to home, back north of the border, to see the biggest and best boat show in Canada, the Toronto International Boat Show. And we do things a little different in the cold. That's coming up later in the show.
But in recent years, surfing has shot to the forefront, surpassing wakeboarding in the eyes of many. Wakeboarding isn't new. With it being born in the mid-1980s, it really blew up because unlike slalom skiing, you can wakeboard just about anywhere from just about any boat. But in recent years, surfing has shot to the forefront, surpassing wakeboarding in the eyes of many. And like anything popular, companies want to get in on the action. Nautique and Malibu and Supra and Moomba are all big names and big players, but brands you connect with family runabouts are even in on it, like Sea Ray and Starcraft.
All right, now admittedly, these are not ideal conditions to shoot in. Big waves, I'm getting splashed, but we're doing this to prove a point.
Measuring in at a length of 23 feet 10 inches, it has a beam of 8'6" and weighs in at 5,500 pounds. In terms of performance, you can hit 20 miles per hour in 5.5 seconds, and the most efficient cruise is 24 miles per hour, with the top speed being a flat 40. And to prove it really does cut through the waves and has the chops of a serious surf boat, we recruited a rider and threw him in the choppy Gulf of Mexico, and even through the Whitecaps, the SLXW kicked up a nice, crisp surf wake. How does it do that so well? Now, there's a few reasons. It has a 2,000-pound ballast capacity, Mercury's V-Drive tow sport engine, wake tech plates to shape the wake, and Sea Ray's dynamic running surface.
Something that I really like on the standard swim platform is the optional submersible full-down swim step. You have the optional stereo controls here, and a standard feature is this transom storage. Now it's huge. You can fit multiple boards in here, and you're dealing with it where you're playing. So let's go inside and see what else we have. Now, the bow lounge is always a popular place to be. Something that I really like on this boat is how high the freeboard is, which means you stay really dry in those big seas we were in earlier, walking back through the walkway. I'm on the sea deck in the cockpit. Now that's an option, but it matches what you have back there on the platform. The tower you see here is standard, but there's some options on it. The speakers, an optional upgrade, and the forks on both sides to hold your boards are an optional upgrade. And the tower folds down, so for easier storage if you have to get under a low bridge to go to your favorite spot to ride.
On the starboard side is a very deep compartment that fits a cooler and then some. The port side has another compartment. This one is actually longer, so you could fit a ski in if you want. There's a lockable glove box, storage under the bow cushions, and in the floor. Also in the floor is access to the bow thruster, great for in-water maintenance. You have the option of a heater, which includes the under-the-towel extender, which is always nice to have.
Mercury and Sea Ray worked in tandem to develop this. Now, it looks like any other joystick, but you gotta remember, we're on a 23-foot sport boat, and this was developed for this specific boat. They call it JPI, Joystick Piloting for Inboards. And it's as intuitive as you expect. With a bow thruster and stern thruster, it finally means docking a wake sports boat is simple.
Sea Ray has also developed the dynamic display touchscreen system that is quite intuitive. For example, simply touch the wake button and you have basic choices you can select: cruising, surf on left or right, or wakeboarding mode. That's it. Of course, you can customize the individual ballast tanks if you want ultimate control, and you can control the tunes and lights and charts from here too. Everything on this boat has the fit and finish you'd expect from Sea Ray. High-end, good-looking yet durable, and just well executed from bow to stern. Which is where we get to the guts of the SLXW, and that's the 6.2-liter Mercruiser ECT Tow Sport V-Drive. That means all the power is still at the stern of the boat, but the drive allows for the prop to be pushed up under the hull for the safety of surfers. That, of course, being one of the main benefits of inboards for tow sports.
But when Volvo introduced the forward drive a few years ago, it totally changed the game. Now this, the 211 SCX from Starcraft, is a surfable boat. They've got a Surf Series badge on the side. But because of the forward drive I/O setup, you have all the handling that you're used to with a traditional stern drive. And actually, because of that forward drive, the whole shot's more impressive, and the handling in tight turns is incredible. But you can really surf behind this boat too with a good wave. Unfortunately, I don't know much about surfing, but luckily, I know someone who does. Former PowerBoat TV host Matt Spencer is currently with Starcraft, and he is their resident surf bro.
You wouldn't think you get a better job than what you had, but I may have found it.
Yeah,
and
buddy.
it especially got better when we came out with a surfable deck boat like we have here with the SCX 211.
So you can, I mean, we've seen it's a lot of fun. I know the SCX, but you can actually surf behind it. You've surfed behind some, expensive, dedicated boats. This wave compares to those?
Exactly. I mean, I've surfed behind many inboards. Obviously, I'm going to be biased to this boat, but this is a deck boat first and a surf boat second. We like to call it a surfable deck boat. So you're going to have everything you want in a deck boat, the performance, the family-friendly features, but now you're also going to have a great surf wave. We like to say there's zero compromises from this wave. You're thinking, oh, it's going to be subpar, or you're gonna, get a discount wave. Absolutely not.
And there's more to kicking out a surfable wave than just, going slow and plowing like any boat can do. It's a particular shaped wave, and you need a couple things for that. And those are on this boat still?
Absolutely, yeah. You need three main things, really, of which is ballast, like most towboats have. That's so you can throw a big wave. You need speed control. The difference of 0.2 mile an hour is massive when it comes to surfing. And then finally, you need something that's gonna help you shape that wave. And we have tabs on each side of the boat. Depending on which side you wanna surf, that's what helps go down. And then really what kind of really ties this boat together and opened the market for us was that Volvo forward drive. It puts the propeller up underneath the boat to make it safe enough to surf, but as well, you still have all the benefits of an I/O. And one of the huge things that we can do that inboards can't do is we can trim that boat. I would say 90% of the people that have surfed behind our surfable deck boats have never surfed before. There's a really huge success rate, and this is a great way to introduce people to the sport of surfing. We don't think you can grow the sport of surfing by targeting surfers. We want to target the family. We want to give them a boat that they're going to love, and we're going to give them an all-new activity to enjoy out on the water.
The modified dihedral cat hull means the beam is carried all the way forward, making the bow lounge roomy, but also allowing for rear-facing seating to watch the action behind the boat. 211 SCX Surf Series joins its 23-foot cousin, which propelled StarCraft into the surf game late last year. But unless you need those extra few feet or added passengers, the 211 is pretty close to a perfect surf crossover in my books.
We're meeting up with Bob Miley, a bass fishing pro, to check out a boat that's been 40 years in the making. Today, we're meeting up with Bob Miley, a bass fishing pro, to check out a boat that's been 40 years in the making, the brand new Bass Tracker Heritage Edition.
Bob,
Morning,
Blacher.
John. How are you doing? Glad
Great.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Thanks for taking us out fishing today.
Yeah. Here's a nice hat here, and we're going to go out and see if we can catch some largemouth bass today also.
Tell me about the fishing we're going to get to do. What are you
Well,
going
we're
to try?
fishing that Sawgrass Recreation area here. It's an outstanding fishery.
We're going to try the new Bass Tracker Heritage boat.
This is a brand new one. I had the opportunity in 1978 to fish out of one of the first ones. And the quality on this one here has been outstanding.
Now, I've heard the price is pretty good. It's around $99.95. Now, does that include the boat, the motor, and the trailer?
As you see it set here, it includes everything. So when you hook up to it out of Bass Pro Shops Tracker Marine dealership, this is how it's set up with the batteries, the trolling motor, the seats, everything.
With the cover as well.
With the cover,
It's
well.
incredible. And this isn't a little 9.9 or a 20. This is a 40 horse.
This is a 40-horse, 4-stroke motor, which is super nice. It's super quiet, and it's got a lot of torque.
Now, you mentioned earlier it's an all-welded hull. In your mind, compared to the old riveted boats, what's the advantage of an all-welded boat?
Well, the frame in it is all welded and supported, and there's no rivets to leak.
Well, let's get her in the water and maybe do a
Okay,
little fishing.
all right.
The nice thing about aluminum boats is you don't need a lot of trolling motor power.
No, because the boats are lighter. They sit higher in the water, and they got less resistance to drag. Sometimes you get a little bit more wind pushing you, but with the 45-pound thrust motor on this, we'll pull this boat around, and you can maneuver through grass and fish just wherever you want to. Started it as a package to get fishermen out rather than on the bank.
And then over the years, boats got more and more and more expensive. We
Right.
chased horsepower, we chased features.
Right, everything just got expensive.
So you remember
And,
when the first boat came out then?
Oh yeah, I fished out of the very first ones.
Really?
And it was an outstanding boat then.
So how would you compare? How far have we come in these number of years?
In number of years, the material and everything that's gone into the boat, the way it's laid out, and the rods they lay out of the way, the console, the plastic, nice finish on this, and all you have to do is wipe it down with a good UV protectant, and it'll be like that for life.
Not a bad little fish finder.
Actually, this Lowrance is really good. Here, you can see a lot of fish right now.
Oh, yeah, there
Yes,
they are.
yes, and this has everything that the big one has.
We saw a sign coming in here, Bob, that said Alligator Alley.
This could be called Alligator Alley because there's alligators here.
I'm not sticking my toes in the water.
No, no.
They'll be fishing for me. So where do you think we should toss a line in the water?
Right, well, right
What do you think?
here. Let's try.
Yeah?
Let's try right here. The Heritage Boat 40th Edition has all kinds of storage. You have storage underneath there. We got the bow lines. You got the boat trailer tie downs, and you can put other stuff in there, small tackle boxes if you so desire.
I really like this little Minn Kota motor. It works great.
Yeah, that's about the right size for this boat here. Handles it really good.
I'm feeling lucky, Bob.
Okay.
Right now, we're, a couple of not too super small guys, but we're fishing basically from one side of the boat.
Yeah, and it's fairly stable right
It's
here.
very stable.
There you go. Outstanding.
Bass Tracker Heritage Edition, no
Oh.
problem at all.
Yeah. Anybody can catch fish out of a Bass Tracker
Let's put you
Heritage.
back. So, Bob, what would you say right now is your favorite part about this boat?
The size fits in the garage.
Nice one.
Yeah, on top water at that. Look at that. Bass Pro XPS popper. You always got to have a good pair of pliers. You don't want to let them slip.
I say we throw him in the live well.
That'll keep them alive all day right there.
It doesn't matter whether the boat's $10,000 or $110,000. You go to the same fishing holes, you fish the
Right.
same spot with the same tackle.
That's it. And this boat will get you there cheaper.
Let's go for a little spin.
Okay.
You got another spot maybe in mind down the
Yeah,
on
we
the
can go
way
down.
here?
Yeah, there's some green bushes right down here. Maybe we can see another big alligator.
Oh,
This is actually North America's largest indoor boat show with the world's largest indoor lake. Welcome to the Toronto International Boat Show. And different from what we saw in Fort Lauderdale earlier, this one is entirely indoors. And I'm thankful for that because it's January and we're in Canada. But this is actually North America's largest indoor boat show with the world's largest indoor lake. And even though you might think indoor is much more straightforward because you don't have to tow in 5 miles of temporary docking, this is no simple feat. In fact, it takes a full week, and it is a choreographed dance that they have perfected over 60 years of this show.
The opening number of the dance is the staging area, where boats of all sizes are lined up to move in a precise order. And because of the snow, they need to have mobile washing stations set up to blast off the snow and dirt. The biggest of the boats, like the Carver C-52 Command Bridge, come in 2 pieces and need to be assembled on site. When all the pieces are put together, there's a grand total of 550 exhibitors and 1,200 boats.
The Toronto International Boat Show is the premier show in the industry in Canada. It is also the largest indoor boat show in North America. I've never seen as much as in the last 5 years the dramatic improvement in customer experience in terms of how exhibitors are designing new displays and giving the public a better experience.
Spanning 2 weekends and the full weekend between, it draws between 70 and 80,000 attendees every year.
As a result, the retail focus is strong. There are a lot of sales incentives, retail programs that motivate consumers to buy at this show. So it's really become the bellwether for the industry on how sales are going to be throughout the year ahead.
But it's not just those looking to lighten their wallets. This is a self-contained experience celebrating all things boating.
There is nowhere in the industry that has the amount of special events and features that the Toronto show does. We have over 250 seminars, workshops, how-to DIY type classes. We have fishing seminars on our world's largest indoor lake. We have wakeboard shows, water ski shows. You can go paddleboarding, canoeing, kayaking. This is a taste of summer in the height of winter. And a great place to wrap up our 2018 season with our new co-host, John Blacher.
All right, Johnny, season 1 under the belt. Nice work. Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Ready to do it all over again?
Yeah, let's do more. But we're at the boat show.
Yep.
There's boats to look at. There's all kinds of new stuff here.
Yes.
I'm going.
I got a marshmallow I'm working on right here, my friend.
And that's how you dock a bass boat.
This is cool.
Yes!
Really?
This is awesome.
And this thing's twin turbo 1,550 horse.
It's also green.